Did they have the half dose for you?
Yeah, if you got Moderna, that's what the Moderna booster is a half dose. So
It absolutely was, Marlene. It was the third dose. It was the half dose, and it was easy. It's very readily available here. So
I had the booster yesterday. I had the Pfizer one and the flu jab. And I must ask you this, Jeff. I've had the most terrible pain in my arm. How has your arm been? Really?
Perfect. I had my flu shot. Shai and I got our flu shots about 3 weeks ago. And I just got mine today. Nothing, no side effects. I feel great.
I'm an allergic person anyway, so the fact that I felt mildly unwell for me was an absolute bonus, because the last time I had a flu jab, I was ill for 10 weeks with a temperature of 104 and hallucinating, and I don't have that now. So it's so lovely to see you all.
Yes, that is not good. Well, I'm glad you fared better this time around.
Yes, so
I took the plunge.
Good for you, Jeffrey, because you can mix and match those now. The booster shots,
you know what?
Mix and match.
From what I read, which I know changes every day, Pfizer had good efficacy, and they said that it was good. So I figured I might as well. That's where I got my first two, so I might as well just stick with it.
Yeah, I got mine.
We didn't get a choice. Ours, the booster is only Pfizer. We don't get a choice here.
Well, you're in the UK, lady.
But I want to hear about Caroline's background. So
Especially.
tell me about your background there, Miss Caroline.
That's right.
Well, it's got a moon, and I don't know where I got it from, but I just saw it and I thought, that is such a nice background, because it's the middle of the night here, you see. So I thought, well, I'll have a moon and I'll have a few Jewish letters, and I just like it. Nice. Thank you for your comment.
It's nice. I'll
let you have a look at it.
How is everyone today? Hopefully the week wasn't too rough on us. And if it is, we're going to take a deep breath and then let it all out. Because Shabbat is here. And when Shabbat is here, it's always a good time. And we let everything melt away, whatever it was. And if it was really, really good, we celebrate. And if it wasn't so good, we just throw it away and begin again. So let's begin with a little Shalom Aleichem. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hashabbat, Shabbat Shalom once again. And Meryl is going to light the candles for us.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech. My match. Melech haolam asher kitzon b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Amen. And we're going to ask everyone to unmute and Caroline to lead us in May the Doors of this Synagogue.
May the doors of this synagogue be wide enough to receive all who hunger for love, all who are lonely for fellowship. May it
welcome all who have cares to unburden, thanks to express, hopes to nurture.
May the door of this synagogue be narrow enough to shut out pettiness, pride, envy, and enmity. May it be too wide to admit complacency, selfishness, and harshness. May this kahila be for all who enter the doorway to a richer and more meaningful life. Amen.
Amen ve amen.
Amen.
And we're going to ask Paul and Isaac to unmute and read Shabbat is the place for us.
Shabbat is the place where time and space meet, without questioning how the beginning began or how the ending ends.
Shabbat is the place where song and silence meet, blessing each other with the gift of rest.
Shabbat is the place where dreams and angels meet, yearning together for a world of peace.
Shabbat is the place where holiness and eternity meet, praying together for the world to come.
Amen. Shabbat really is the place where angels meet. And in this week's Parsha, we're going to talk about some of these angels that come to meet Abraham and Sarah.
L'Cha Dodi לקראת קלה, פני שבת וקבלה. L'Cha Dodi לקראת קלה, פני שבת וקבלה. שמעו וזכור בדיבור אחד השמיענו, אל המיוחד אדוני אחד. שמו אחד ושמו לתפארת ולתהילה. L'Cha Dodi לקראת קלה, פני שבת וקבלה. לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה, כי מקור הברכה מראש מקדם. נסוכה סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה. L'Cha Dodi לקראת קלה, פני שבת וקבלה. הדדי די L'Cha Dodi, הדדי די לקראת קלה. הדדי די פני שבת, פני שבת לקבלה. ימין ושמאל תפרוצי, ואת אדוני תריצי. על ידי שבין פרצי, וני שמחה ונגלה. היי די די, היי די די L'Cha Dodi, היי די די לקראת קלה. היי די די פני שבת, פני שבת לקבלה.
Please rise and face the door, either physically or spiritually.
אוי ושלום, עטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה ובצהלה. תוך אמונה שבת נקבלה נשבת נקבלה ברכו את אדוני המבורך ברוך אדוני המבורך לעולם ועד ברוך אתה תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד ברוך אתה אדוני המעריב הרבים
Shema Israel Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Baruch Shem Kavod Mekutol Leolam Va'ed Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha B'chol lavavcha Ubechol nafshecha Ubechol meodecha V'hayu hadavarim ha'eleh Asher anoki mitzavecha Hayom al lavavecha V'shinantam lavanecha V'tipata bam V'shiftecha b'vetecha Uvlektecha v'derech Uvshochbecha Uvkumecha Ukshatam Leot al yadecha V'hayu latotafot Beineinecha Uchtaftam Al mezuzot beitecha Uvisharecha Leman tiskeru va'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'item kiddoshim Eloheichem Ani Adonai Eloheichem Asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim v'yot lechem le'Elohim Ani Adonai Eloheichem. Amen.
נורא תהי לו הפורץ סוכת שלום, עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל ירושלים. Spread over us the shelter of your peace. Spread over us the shelter of your peace. Baruch atah Adonai, הפורץ סוכת שלום, עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל ירושלים. ופרוץ עלינו סוכת שלומך, ופרוץ עלינו סוכת שלומך. ברוך אתה אדוני הפורץ סוכת שלום, עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל ירושלים. ושמעו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. את השמיים ואת הארץ. יא אלה 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 אלה, יא אלה 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 אלה, יא אלה 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 אלה, יא לה לה יא לה לה. את השמיים ואת הארץ, וביום השביעי שבת וינבט, ושרו בני ישראל
The people of Israel kept Shabbat, and so do we. We keep Shabbat. And we are in Parashat Vayere this week. Last week we were introduced to Avram and Sarah, and they were going on a journey to Canaan. And in this week's Parasha, they are in Canaan already. They're sitting in their tent. They're kind of, maybe today we would, they're kind of nomads. They travel in their tent, even though they live in Israel. They travel in their tent from place to place. and with all of their, servants and their cattle and everything else. So it's a big operation. And they're just sitting there one day in their tent and minding their own business. And then all of a sudden they see three men coming towards them. And they immediately, Avram decides to go out and welcome them. They're strangers. They've never seen them before. But Avram and Sarah, they have this amazing ability to welcome people, and they never leave anyone out. And if they see someone traveling by, they let them into their tent. And so they run out, no questions asked. They say, "Oh, come travelers, you look tired. Come stay with us." And it tells us in the Torah, which I find very interesting, that people don't mention, but I mention it because very often we're told that there are definite roles, the men and women and everybody, but it tells us that Avram actually cooks the meal for them and Sarah prepares the bread. And so Avram himself invites them into the tent, he makes the meal, and Sarah bakes the bread. They're a team, they work together, and they're very, very welcoming to these strangers. And in Hebrew, the word for stranger or messenger is malach, and the same word is used for angel. And so it tells us that at the beginning when we read it, it tells us these messengers are coming. So we already know that there's some kind of a message. But then we also kind of dig deeper and we realize that they're angels coming from God to give a message, not just any messenger. And, at the end of the meal, they kind of say to Sarah, they say, "Listen, in Avram, you've been wanting a child for so long, and you're 100 and something, 99, whatever it is that they're very old." And they say, "You are going to have a child." And Sarah laughs. She thinks it's the funniest thing to have a child at an advanced age. Avram laughs, and they do. They have a child eventually, and they call him Yitzchak, which means to laugh, because Sarah laughed. Well, this portion is very deep. There's also Sodom and Gomorrah, and there are all kinds of stories. But I wanted to focus today on this idea, this Jewish value of hachnasat orchim, welcoming in guests into our tent. And on the surface, it's just, basically what it says. Although with all that's going on, it's not always easy to just welcome people into our homes. So I'll get to that in a second. But the concept of, the surfacey concept is you welcome people into your home if they need to, or you help them out when they need to, and you're very welcoming. And when guests coming to your home, even when you know them, you just treat them like royalty, which is how Avram and Sarah did it. But when we dig deeper, we realize that those angels, those messengers, those malachim could be the voices within us, within ourselves. And we are, our being is basically can either welcome them into our tent and listen to what they have to say, or we can send them away and be very anxious and say, no, I don't want to hear, I don't want to listen, I don't want to know anything. When we open ourselves up to hearing deep inside of our own soul, we might find a lot of comfort and a lot of joy. Sometimes we get bogged down with our emotions and we all get very anxious and we get very upset. But if we just invite those malachim, those angels, to come in on Shabbat, we sing Shalom Aleichem, come angels. Let's invite them in every day. And especially when we're not feeling so well, when we're feeling down, when things are getting to us, let's invite them in. And you can actually it's kind of like a guided meditation where you close your eyes and you really literally imagine that you see those angels, whatever they look like. They could just be someone that you love, or they could be literal angels that you imagine in your head, or they can just be some kind of a being that you invite into your soul, and you allow those angels to give you a message. And the message is always, everything will be okay. As long as we're here, as long as we're breathing and we're alive and we have our family and friends, and even sometimes when we don't, everything is going to be okay. And if you think of the alternative, there's nothing to think about. It's just how life is. It just goes on and it continues, and then we morph into something else perhaps. But for now, instead of worrying about that, we call those malachim into our souls and we say, Hineni, that word that Avram was saying to Adonai, Hineni, here I am. I am willing to let you just cleanse my soul, to give me a canopy of peace and allow me to welcome you in. When we do that, we're also more receptive to doing achnasat ochim, to welcoming people in. And even during these times, when sometimes we can't always allow people into our homes, we can allow them into our homes through various ways, through Zoom, through phone calls, through Facebook. There's so many, we're fortunate in that way that we have so many avenues. So reach out and do it. Still have a weekly, even though the world is trying to get back to normal, whatever that is, still have a weekly Zoom or a weekly something phone call with someone you love and care for, to let them know, to do achnasat orchim, to welcome them in and to allow your soul to feel joy and happiness. And with that, we say Shabbat Shalom again. And we're going to say Misha Berach. And we have a few people that we say it for, and then you can mention any names you'd like. We have Linda and Scott, April and Doug, Paul, Merle, Toby, Adam, Jeff, Lorraine, Liz, Olivia, Jill, Ellen, and Maureen. And anybody else who wants to unmute and give us names, now is the time.
For Daniel.
For Barbara.
Jackie Dvorak.
Olivia.
And we wish, and anybody else who needs healing in spirit, in body, we sing really loudly for them and we offer them our healing.
Our fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Yishaberach our mothers, Sarah, Rebecca, Leah, and Rachel. May the one bless those who are saved with complete good health. The renewal of spirit, the renewal of body. Let us say Amen. Yishaberach avotenu, Avraham, Yitzchak, veYaakov. Yishaberach imotenu, Sarah, Rivka, Leah, ורחל, הוא יברך את כל החולים עם רפואה שלמה, רפואת הנפש, רפואת הגוף, ונאמר אמן.
Adonai sifatai tiftach ufi yagi tahilatecha. Eternal God, open our lips that our mouths may declare your glory. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei Avoteinu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel Elohei Leah El Hagadol Hagibor V'Hanora El Elyon Gomel Hasadim Tovim V'Konei Hakol V'Socher Hasdi Avot V'Himahot Umevi Goel Livnei V'Nehem Leman Shemo B'Ahava Melech Hozeh U'Mashiach U'Magen Baruch atah Adonai Magen Avraham Ufoked Sarah.
אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני רב להושיע, משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיה כל חי ברחמים רבים, תומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לישני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומי דומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה לחיות כל חי. ברוך אתה אדוני מחיה כל חי. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
And we ask everyone to unmute and Linda to lead us responsively.
May we see the day when war and bloodshed cease, when a great peace will embrace the whole world.
Then nation will not threaten nation, and the human family will not again know war.
For all who live on earth shall realize we have not come into being to hate or to destroy. We have come into being to praise, to labor, and to love.
Compassionate God, bless the leaders of all nations with the power of compassion.
Fulfill the promise conveyed in Scripture. I will bring peace to the land, and you shall lie down, and no one shall terrify you.
I will rid the land of
beasts, and it shall not be ravaged by war.
Let justice and righteousness flow like a mighty stream. Let God's peace fill the earth as the waters fill the sea. And let us say, Amen.
Amen.
עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל. שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל. May the one who makes peace give us peace. Make peace all over Israel. Make peace all over the world. May the one who makes peace give us peace. Make peace all over Israel. Make peace all over the world. Make peace all over Israel. Make peace all over the world. Over the world.
And let's get our Kiddush cups.
ויחול השמיים והארץ וכל צבאם, ויחל אלוהים ביום השביעי מלאכתו אשר עשה, וישפוט ביום השביעי מכל מלאכתו אשר עשה, ויברך אלוהים את יום השביעי ויקדש אותו, כי בו שבת מכל מלאכתו אשר ברא אלוהים לעשות. סברי חבריי, ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, בורא פרי הגפן. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, אשר קידשנו במצוותיו ורצה בנו, ושבת קודשו באהבה וברצון הנחילנו, זיכרון למעשה בראשית. כי הוא יום תחילה למקראי קודש, זכר ליציאת מצרים. כיוון
L'chaim. עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר ראשית, שנתן לנו תורת אמת, וחיי עולם נטע בתוכנו, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד. In the rising of the sun and in its going down, we remember them. In the blowing of the wind and the chill of winter, we remember them. In the opening of the buds and in the rebirth of spring,
we remember them.
In the blueness of the sky and in the beauty of autumn, we
remember them.
In the beginning of the year and when it ends, we
remember them.
So long as we live, they too shall live, for they are now part of us. As we remember them. If we have any yortzites, we want to mention loved ones, now is the time. יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, בעלמא דברה חירותי וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל, בעגלה ובזמן קריב ואמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך לעולם ולעולמי עולמיה. יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה בריחו, לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, דאמירן בעלמא ואמרו אמן. יהי שלמה רבה מן שמיה, וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ועל כל העולם, ואמרו אמן. May their memories be for a blessing.
Amen.
And as we continue with our journey with Avram, with Sarah, with ourselves, we remember that to welcome in all the guests, to be welcoming, and to remember Sarah and Avram, who never skipped a chance to welcome someone new in and to make them feel at home.
And all shall praise your name. L'Cha, to the place that and you shall be a blessing, and you shall be a blessing, L'Cha. And you shall be a blessing, and you shall be a blessing, and you shall be a blessing, L'Cha. And you shall be a blessing, L'Cha, L'Cha.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. We are so excited that Carolyn is here with us this weekend. And Caroline, and she is going to, if we get our challahs together, she's going to lead us in the challah song and Shabbat Shalom.
Actually, I was thinking of you because I went back to religion school and I had this new class of 3 and 4-year-olds and I'm teaching them the holler thing. So I get my hands like this. I can see people are all ready to go like this. And as I go like this, all I can think of in front of me are the Zoom windows of Ora Hava. Well, it's wonderful to be back. Here's a tasty loaf of challah, loaf of challah, loaf of challah. Here's a tasty loaf of challah. And now we say the bracha, Baruch Ata Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotze lechem min haaretz. Amen. Time to say Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. Time to say Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom Kulam. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. How lovely is that? Shabbat Shalom to everyone. Chanukah is around the corner. We'll have more details next week. There's going to be a play. There's going to be a little bit of a party. We're planning some things. So join us again next week, but we still have a few more weeks. So